In this lecture, you'll hear Michelle share an insight into the primary purpose of an organisation and the principles of value and leverage. As a Talent Dynamics Flow consultant, you'll get to understand why it's so important for individuals to really focus upon their talents and strengths, both to help improve their own results, their team results, and the organisation overall. We will be building upon this throughout the whole program, and it will become even clearer when you later get to appreciate each of the 8 different talent dynamics profiles.
I'm going to share with you now what we believe is the primary purpose of an organisation, and it's only 2 things. And these 2 things are the most critical things that you can do in your business, so I want you to make a note of these. The first is to deliver value. As long as you are delivering value, you will have a place in the market. Whether that's through the product or the service or whatever it is that you're delivering to your customers, your community, your stakeholders, as long as you are delivering value, you will always have a place in the market. The moment you stop delivering value is the moment you will lose your place in the market. The more value that you deliver, the greater your place will be in the market. So if you're wondering about the size of your business right now, the revenues in your business, it's down to the amount of value that you deliver. So one of the companies that are really great at delivering value is Apple. Apple have this wonderful ability to create so much value that customers are willing to sleep on streets overnight to get a product that they've never seen or touched before because they have such a high level of trust in the company. Value is measured in the amount of trust that your customers or your stakeholders or your staff have in you, right? So the amount of value that you deliver to the marketplace is measured in the amount of trust that your customers or your stakeholders or your staff have in you, or the communities in which you trade in. In its rawest sense, you know if your customers have a lot of trust and you're delivering a lot of value, because you will see that in your revenue. I'm going to put it in brackets. You will see that in your revenue. So the more trust that your customers have in you, the more of whatever it is that you do, the product or the service or whatever, the more of those things you will sell, right? Or if you're a not-for-profit or you're a charity, the more of those services that people will use. So whatever it is that you're doing, the more value, you can measure it in trust, you will see it in your bank account as revenue. Now, it's one thing to deliver value, and as long as you're delivering value, you're going to have a place in the market. But in order to make sure that you can stay in that marketplace, you need to leverage effectively. And you need to leverage your resources effectively, your people, your systems. If you don't leverage effectively, you will very quickly go out of business because your costs will exceed your income, right? So basically, you will not make profit if you're not leveraging effectively. The more effectively that you leverage, you will see greater profit in your business. Now, the way that we measure the leverage is through the amount of flow that comes through your company, right? So we measure it through the amount of flow. Remember yesterday we talked about flow and people said, is flow just a state of feeling? And we said, no, it's about the results that you get. The more flow that is coming through your business, the more you know that you're leveraging effectively. In its rawest sense, you can measure it in the amount of profit. So if you're wondering why your business is not particularly profitable right now, or you would want it to be more profitable, then you definitely want to start looking at leverage. Most businesses, in fact, all of the businesses that we work with, think that these are the 2 things that they should be focusing on: revenue and profit. They look at how they can make more money and how they can make more profit. And they wonder why they're seeing only incremental increases in their businesses. Or they're wondering why they see one month they have a really big increase, but they're not able to sustain it the next month. Or one year they have a really great profitable year, but they're not able to continue and sustain it the next year. You see, these are the measures that you're actually doing these things correctly. If you focus on them, you're focusing on the history, you're focusing on the measures instead of focusing on the cause that's actually going to make the difference. When you look at your business in terms of where am I delivering value and how am I leveraging, what more value can I add, how can I leverage further, then all of a sudden all these things start to improve anyway. As a result of doing this in our business in the last 12 months, we've seen a 700% increase because we focus on these 2 things up front, and these are the Monday steel measures that I go and look at to see if what we actually did made a difference. Value and leverage are a set of legs, right? A left leg and a right leg. And I want you to imagine them as your legs. So every time you step forward and add a piece of value, you're doing this, right? Now, some companies just continue to add value. Or, at worst, they go like this, and they wonder why they're going around in circles, right? So every time you add a piece of value, you do need to leverage it. So you need to think, I've added a piece of... So the question that Jan and I were having was, if we added the 12-month business development pathway, how are we going to leverage that? So we're always asking the question, and we're always going, how far along the journey can we go before we run out of ideas? Can we keep leveraging? Once you've created that new piece of leverage, once you've added that leverage, you now have a new piece of value, which you can leverage again. Then you can add some more value, then you can leverage. So they're an interdependent state. Now, what you don't want to do, which most businesses do, particularly entrepreneurs, is they have one leg that's really much bigger than the other. So they have an Arnold Schwarzenegger value leg and a Naomi Campbell leverage leg. And you're still going to fall over.